Time to continue culling the collection. Seeing what films I don't want. What I don't want to keep a hold of. Those that I can bin. Those that I can throw away. Gift to other people. Whatever I end up doing with them. So let's take a look. Let's get into it. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another Culling of the Collection video. Yes. Every 2 weeks I bring you one of these at the moment, going through all my Blu-rays and sorting out those that I don't particularly want anymore to try and downsize the collection a little at least. I came to realise that I had a lot of tat in my collection, a lot of crap, a lot of films I wouldn't revisit, a lot of films that I'd bought very cheap in Poundland and CEX and things like this, and I probably wouldn't ever visit them again. So why am I keeping a hold of them? I could preserve them, but it's not down to me to preserve everything. I think as a community we can do that as a whole, if that makes sense. I don't think it's down to any one individual. You shouldn't feel the need to preserve stuff, preserve everything, because if you're not, someone else is anyway. I don't know. I bought a lot of crap along the way, but not only that, doubles, upgrades, things where I've upgraded from maybe a standard edition to a steelbook or standard Blu-ray to a 4K, or it's in a box set or special edition release, that sort of thing. Now, this isn't about quality of film either. I may get rid of some films that you think are particularly good, and films that are particularly well made, and keep something that's less well made than that film. It's more about rewatchability and whether I would revisit the film again. And certainly there are films that are rubbish that I would revisit more than films that are really well made movies. So it's a funny sort of criteria, and I think we'd all be different in that sense. So let us get into it, and I'll just move the tortoise out because he's making a load of noise. Oh, okay, so where was I? Now, I know he hasn't made a channel appearance for some considerable time. He's still about. He's doing well over the colder months. Obviously, he wants to hibernate. That's his natural instinct. But where he's in the terrarium, that doesn't happen. It's quite difficult to hibernate tortoises. You've got to make sure that their stomachs are completely empty and this sort of a thing. And so it's easier to keep them in a terrarium all the time. Now, the hibernation instinct isn't necessarily because of the cold. It's more to do with the lack of food resources. But obviously, he gets fed all year round. So the food is there, but still instinctually, when they feel it's getting cold, they want to hibernate because they think, there's no food. There's no food, so I must hibernate. But yeah, he's still doing well. He's still around. And there we go. So, he can go down on the floor. No doubt he'll go and poo somewhere. And I'll have to pick that up. But there we go. Oh, a cup of tea there. So, I'm going to begin. I'm doing this shelf here. I've cleared the top off. That was the shelf we'd done 2 weeks ago. And we're dropping down to, it's a full shelf of what's on it. So let's get in. I'm going to be turning round a lot because, well, I have to for this one. So on here, I do have a couple of, I have some Jurassic Park stuff actually. And I've got these two. I've got a T-Rex there and the thingamajig. I forget the name of this dinosaur. It's from Jurassic World. These came with a Jurassic World release at one point. So let's get them down and out of the way. Not only that, I also have on here from the Noble collection a Dilophosaurus in there. I've never opened it. It's still in that. I picked this up in the Forbidden Planet for £4.99. Its retail price was about 30 quid. Crazy. Who would pay 30 quid for that? I wouldn't, but you know, £4.99. Nice little piece to go with the other two. So we've got that there. So let's get into these films. Let's delve into what I can and can't keep for whatever reasons. So I'll do this in lumps, so to speak. I'll grab a load. So I'm not turning back and around with everyone. So first up, we have from the premium collection, HMV, Blu-ray and DVD, we have from 1933, yes, over 90 years old, nearly 100 years old, this film, wow. And it is the original King Kong, that original King Kong movie. Look, you know, stop motion, what a classic film this is. You know, this is one of those sort of films that should be a staple for anyone's collection. You know, no matter who you are, you have to appreciate this sort of a movie for its age, for what it did for cinema. Well, 1933. This is number 11. Bad Habit collecting. Have to get all the numbers, regardless of what film it is. I must get all the numbers. Bad Habits. Bad Habits. So that one is a keeper. And then we have King Kong itself. This is the Peter Jackson version of King Kong, whatever year this came out in. It's not a bad film. It's not a bad film. It's very long. Still got my DVDs in there as well. And I actually have another. I have 2 copies of it in here. I have 2 copies because I have that sleeve there for it as well. Wow, I bought another one just because cheap because of the sleeve. Again, stupid. But I have this film on 4K also, so I don't need it. So that's going to be the first one to go, the second disc in, and the first one that I will say goodbye to. But there's 2 versions in there, so I could actually keep one and get rid of one. But I have the 4K, so I will separate them back into two different boxes and get rid of like that. Next up, and I've not watched this yet, so it's automatically a keeper because I haven't watched it. I have to watch it, and it is Kon-Tiki. Kon-Tiki, yes. Kon-Tiki, dramatically and cinematically awesome. The sharks look real. The sea storm rocks your seat. Breathtaking dramatisation of Thor Heyerdahl's legendary journey. I said I've not seen it, but it looked like it was up my street, so I picked it up as a blind buy in CEX. Next up, we have Kickboxer Retaliation. Okay, there's some films where I say I haven't seen them, I'll keep them. I haven't seen this, and it's going. It's going. I don't care. I don't care for that one. Next up. Oh look, Main Partner 1 and 3, K9 1 to 3 with James Belushi or Jim Belushi. No, what Belushi was it? The part? It was Jim Belushi. Yeah, who was in Blues Brothers, who passed away. This is James Belushi, the brother. Obviously, was in Red Heat with Arnie. The first one, I've not seen the second 2. I wanted the first one, and the cheapest way to get them was all 3 of them like this. So, yeah, it's a German release. And you know what I've not ever done? It's a German release, but I've not bothered to open it and turn the cover over to get rid of that horrid, massive age rating. So there we go. So the first K9 film is a good film from back in the day, like 1980s. Same sort of time as Turner and Hooch, wasn't it? So again, that's obviously going to stay within the collection. Next up, The King's Speech. Colin Firth and Geoffrey Rush. This one, and I don't, no pun intended, it speaks for itself. Speaks for itself. To keep. It's a great film. Then we have here, and I believe, is this a bootleg? I think it was a bootleg. And it's a Netflix film. Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Woody Harrelson is in it as well. And it's the movie Kate. So it's a bootleg, so, well, what am I going to do with a bootleg? I can't, like, I'm not going to, yeah, I'll keep that. It was alright, I didn't mind it. Then we have Nicolas Cage in Knowing. I enjoyed this film. I enjoyed this film a lot. I snuck my son in to see it. He was too young. Tortoises walking on or under a bag. bag, and that's what the rustling is. I can't bother up to move him. Oh, he'll make his way out. He's under the bag, not in it, so he can breathe. So no, in Nicolas Cage, I thoroughly enjoyed this in the cinema. Yeah. So I'll keep that. Let's move on. Oh dear. Okay. So we have Life of Pi in 3D. I can get rid of that because I have 4K of Life of Pi. In fact, I might message Matt over at Matt V's Movies, see if he's got Life of Pi 3. He's probably got it in 3D, but we'll ask him because I know he loves his 3D. That will go, but that will go in the to-go pile. But Matt will be the first one to get it. And I picked this up for £6. I don't know why. I slated the film when it came out, and it's The Lost City with Channing Tatum and Sandra Bullock. You know, I like Sandra Bullock. I like Channing Tatum. But this film, they didn't work in it. And this is what I'm saying. I buy stuff that, you know, just I got into these bad habits of buying stuff, and that's why I've gone through this sort of like real look at myself and delve into my buying habits and all this to try and change them. And I'm on the cusp of that. As I'm filming this, it was only like a week ago that I released that video about addiction and all that sort of a thing, and things like this highlight it. So Lost City, you know, I feel that I should give it another go. I really do. Like with Bullet Train, it came out around the same time, and I was like, oh, Bullet Train I got. You know, should I? I don't know. It's a film I want to like. I want to like it. That's the problem. So I can't be. I'm going to keep that for now. I need to give it a go. Then we have Night and Day, and to be honest, Tom Cruise, Cameron Diaz. I like Tom Cruise now. Never used to. I like Cameron Diaz. I need to visit this again. But is it a bad film? Let me know in the comments down below. Okay, embarrassing time. But we have Kylie, 2008. Kylie Minogue. I like Kylie Minogue. I used to like music back in the day when I was younger. No, I think she's done quite well for herself since the day of Neighbours, and her music has gone through changes over time. You know, it's adapted itself to the era that she's in and this sort of thing, much like what Madonna does. Yeah, keeping that. And here's a quality film for you. Kindergarten Cop. I know it's recently had a 4K release. Not necessarily a film that I think I need in 4K. I don't need to watch this film in 4K. I'm quite happy with the release. Yeah, watching it like this. I think this was a German release. And I watched it recently. It's a great film. I say recently, probably about a year ago. It's a really good film. You know, it's got darker undertones in it. In you know, it's got the humour, but there's this mature element to it in the story that you know, kind of, like I said, darkness to it. It's a good film. And then we come to Kindergarten Cop 2 with Dolph Lundgren. I like Dolph Lundgren. I think Dolph Lundgren's really good. You know, what can I say? I like him. And this film is practically just a remake of that film. Nothing more. But nowhere near as good. But you know what? For a bad film, I had fun with it. And thusly, I shall keep a hold. Then we have LA Confidential. Kevin Spacey. Russell Crowe, Guy Pearce, Kim Basinger, Danny DeVito. What a great cast. Okay, Kevin Spacey. With the stuff that came out about him and that, you know, abhorrent stuff. But he was a good actor. All right, let's not deny that. He was a good actor, and that's a good film. Solid, good film. Speaking of good films, obviously right up my street. Lake Placid. I like the monster, the creature feature, and this is without exception. I think this is a great film, great characters in it, great character interaction between them, really strong chemistry, good special effects. It doesn't take itself seriously. It's a whole lot of fun, and it spun a load of sequels. Generally sort of straight to DVD. you know, sort of sci-fi channel movie sequels, which I think I've got. Let's keep that one hush hush. And there's another film that people just didn't like, but I thought it was so fun. Land of the Lost. Will Ferrell. I like Will Ferrell. I do like Will Ferrell, but there's some stuff he does that I don't like. I like him, but I can take and leave some of his projects. This one here, I just thought was just silly, fun, stupid. I forget his name now, but he was quite funny in it. What's her face was gorgeous in it. It was it was a fun film. I've not watched it for a long time. Oh, Shane Black here with a Tony Scott film. This was written by Shane Black, wasn't it? Yep. Screenplay by Shane Black. Bruce Willis. Look, I like Bruce Willis. I think it's such a shame what's happened to him, and I'm not gonna get rid of Bruce Willis stuff unless it's particularly rubbish. So let's continue on. Okay, so next up, another Bruce Willis one actually, a Walter Hill film. This, isn't it? Yeah. Last Man Standing. I had to get it from Germany. I think this was released under Entertainment in Video label. It had an orange cover. Orange cover with Last Man Standing. Big writing, as I recall, on the VHS. Yeah, quite awful looking, unfortunately, VHS cover really, but it's Bruce Willis. It stands. Here's one that can go. Last Action Hero, because I've got it upgraded into 4K. So, a film kind of ahead of its time, I believe it was. I'm not doing very well today, am I, with these Cullings? I've got 4 titles down there already, and that's it. Next up, we have Last Stand, Arnie. This was his sort of comeback film after being governor. This was his first film, I believe, if I remember him rightly. Johnny Knoxville, Forrest Whitaker. Yeah, it was for a smaller scale, but it was fine. I enjoyed it. I'll keep that. I keep meaning to upgrade this. I want the Arrow version. That's The Last Starfighter, which is again a good sci-fi film, and one of my dad's favourite sci-fi films actually, for some unknown reason. But yeah, it's a decent film from way back when. Then we have Law-Abiding Citizen. I can't see anything. Yeah, I can. I don't know. Anyway, Law-Abiding Citizen. I liked it. I didn't like the way it went. I mean, I think I was rooting for him all the way through, but then at the end it twisted and it did kill him, didn't it? As a bad guy, but it's really sort of plays on who you're rooting for, the character. Because he's bad, but you got to agree with what he's doing and stuff like that, as I recall. Yeah, I need to watch that again, really, and see what I get from the ending. So next up, we have Legion with Paul Bettany. And I'm really bad. Dennis Quaid is in this. Yes, Dennis Quaid is in it. He's always welcome. And Adriana Palicki, who was in The Orville most recently. All 3 seasons of The Orville, was Captain Mercer's ex-wife, the number 1 of the ship, so to speak. She was, second in command. She was Wonder Woman in a unaired Wonder Woman TV pilot. And this plays very much like a Terminator film. She's pregnant and the baby she's carrying is like saviour of the human race, or will be, against a war between angels and demons and this sort of thing. This angel comes down to protect her, and there was a TV series made of it as well, believe it or not. Can't remember the title, but there was a TV series made, and I like the film. What can I say? I thought it was a good, fun film. Now here's a film that it's an okay film. I'll say it's an okay film, but people love it. People, they rave over this film, and I'm not one of those people. But it's Leon. It's a good film, but I don't think it's as good as what people make it out to be, and I get creeped out by the relationship. The bit where she's coming on to him, trying to essentially seduce him as a child. I feel very uncomfortable during those sort of scenes. It makes me feel like, what I'm watching is wrong. It has that sort of effect. The film for me, I can see why people. Can I see why people like it? I suppose I can to a degree, but I think it's very overrated. But I wouldn't upgrade it. Let's just put it that way. Next up, a film that I love and adore, and it's Les Miserables. And this is going to go into the thingy pile simply because I upgraded upon release of the 4K. Yeah, Les Miserables. I thought it was a fantastic film. I had a CD soundtrack, singing all the songs in the car with the kids, believe it or not. It was filmed close to me, a lot of it. Well, not a lot of it. Some of it was filmed close to me down in Greenwich. What can I say? I've been to see the stage show about 4 or 5 times throughout my life, I think. And the first time I saw it, I'd have been around 13 or 14, where I couldn't appreciate it. That's the problem going into musicals, is that unless you know the music, it's really hard to follow a story through song if you don't know what they're singing about or what they're trying to convey. You've got to get used to the songs and the lyrics of the song to understand. So yeah, anyway. Then we have Tom Cruise in The Last Samurai. I shall indeed keep The Last Samurai. Like I said, I feel like I'm not doing very well on this thingy. And this one I'll keep as well. Liar Liar with Jim Carrey. It's one where he can't lie. That's quite funny. Quite a funny film. What can I say? It's a keeper. And then we have, from Australia, the film The Lifeguard with Kristen Bell. And I never did get round to watching it. This summer, growing up is optional. Imported from Australia. So, I need to watch it. Then we have Limitless with a lovely lenticular there. Now, Limitless was actually spun off into a TV show, believe it or not, which, let me just show you. Let me just have a little. So, Limitless, the TV series, it lasted 1 season. I preferred the TV series to the film, and I like the guy who was in the TV series. Thought he was pretty damn good. It had What's-Her-Face in it from Dexter as well. Bradley Cooper did pop up in this as the same character he played in the film, so it is linked to the film. I don't know if that's quite hard to get a hold of or not, that TV series. It was a good series. It was a shame it didn't go past its first 1 season, but still worth delving into. And I like the concept of, you take a drug and it opens up your brain and makes you, intelligent, doesn't it? Or whatever it's done. Then we have Lucky Logan. And I enjoyed this on watch. Who's in it? Channing Tatum, Adam Driver, who I've taken a liking to, Seth MacFarlane, all right, fair enough. Hilary Swank, and Daniel Craig giving quite a good performance, actually. I'm wondering if it was his performance in this that led him to get Knives Out. I feel that it was like a sort of trajectory, stepping stone for that. But yeah, so Logan's lucky. Yeah, that's pretty good. Then we have Lockout. I'm going to put this in the pile to get rid of. Now, Lockout is a film star. It's Luc Besson presents. Guy Pearce, Maggie Grace. Die Hard in Space. It's actually Escape from New York. This film is a complete and utter rip-off of Escape from New York in every facet, right? And they got sued for it as well. They did. I don't know how they had the balls to do what they did with this film and thought they'd get away with it. But I have a steelbook for it, and the steelbook is beautiful. It really is. So that's 1 to go. Then we have The Lone Ranger. Now I'm going to put this in the to-go pile. Reason being, because again, I've got a steelbook for it, and I really enjoyed the Lone Ranger film. I didn't have the issues with it that other people did. I thought it was a solid film. Overly long, maybe, but I had fun with it. Then we have Mark Wahlberg in Lone Survivor. Now, I don't think I have any other version of this. Part of me in the back of my head is saying, did this get a 4K special edition steelbook release? I think there was a Fancy Dan release of it. I didn't go for it, but I don't think I've got it on any other version. And it was, yeah, I quite like Mark Wahlberg. I won't, can't deny that. And I thought this film was pretty good. So, to keep. Now, let's delve into some more. Here, what have we got? Okay, alright, so we have Looper, the lenticular. I've got Looper in like 4K special edition release. But I'm questioning, should I keep this because of the lenticular? No, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to be naughty with this one. I'm going to get rid of it. Okay. Like this. That'll go. I'm going to keep the slip cover and I'm going to cut it there and there, just so that I've got a flat surface lenticular. And I'm going to put that lenticular into, I mean, you can probably get it off of that anyway, but I'll keep it on because I might ruin it. And I'm going to keep that lenticular in with the other edition. There you go. So I've got the lenticular inside the box for the other one. That's the way to do it. Next up, Lost in Space, the movie from 1998, I want to say. I think it was that sort of year. For a ride of a movie, exciting, adventurous, eye-popping fun. I had fun with it, right? It's got some fantastic special effects. It's got some awful special effects. Yeah, so many effects houses, different effects houses worked on this film that you got some really good stuff. I mean, the stuff where the ship's going through the planet, breaking up, I think that looks really good. I think that looks great. But the monkey thing and the Dr. Smith creature thing at the end, god awful. Has this got... Yeah, it's got commentaries. The commentary's well worth listening to on this film. The audio commentary, the ending, they're thrown. What you don't realise, because the story's got quite a lot going on it, is that at the end they are flung further into the future. It happened about halfway through the film, and they're still trapped there further down the line in the future. At the end, you don't really realise it. And they go into talking about exactly what the sequel would have been had the sequel happened, their ideas for that. So it's really nice to hear that sort of stuff. And I've still got my old... No, I haven't. I can throw them away now. Got burnt seasons of the TV show. Talking about the Netflix TV show. But anyway, talking about that Netflix TV show, there's season 1. And I know a lot of people are against bootlegging and all this sort of a thing, but here's your reason why. So I watched this on Netflix. I thought, I like this series a lot. I want to see where it goes. I'm going to buy season 1. They've released season 1. I'm going to buy it. Thank you very much. Season 2 and 3? No, you're not so lucky, are you? You don't get that release. So you go and invest in that. So thank you very much. I'll get mine as bootleg editions. I don't care, right? I'll finish it off like that. Give it to me on original, I'll buy it. Until then, I'll stick with that. Thank you. Now here's a film, straight away it's going to go down into the swap pile. Yeah, I'm not even going to talk about it. Another German import here. We've not got a reversible sleeve. Brendan Fraser. Steve Martin. Looney Tunes back in action. Yeah, live action crossover. Yeah, I think I used to have this on old DVD clipper case, if I remember rightly. So I'm keeping that. Then we have Lucy. Now, Lucy, I've got a feeling I've got this in 4K. So we'll check that one out, because if I've got it in... Have I got it in 4K? I'm going to set this one to the side here, because I will check that one out when the video's done, when I've finished. But so that's definitely a maybe, because I'm sort of 70% certain that I've got a 4K of that. Okay, so this is the last pile here. That's the last of them for this shelf. So let's have a look at what we have. I'm sort of getting ahead. Okay, I can get rid of this one. Let's Be Cops. You know, this stars Jake Johnson, Damon Wayans Jr. They were both together in the TV series New Girl. And I quite like Jake Johnson. I picked this up for pennies. But I could never get through it, so I'm getting rid of that. Then we have Love Actually, which I'd bought for a sort of Christmas revisit. Never got round to it. Christmas just gone, so that's a keeper. And here we have... Oh, okay. Last Survivor. Or Last Survivors. Now, there was a period, a year, 2 years ago, where... Within, you know, I haven't seen a film starring Alicia Silverstone for, oh, God knows how long, right? Decade. And all of a sudden, within a couple of weeks of each other, I saw 2 films with Alicia Silverstone. This one here, Last Survivors, and the other film was the shark film she was in. And the name eludes me at this juncture, so I can't tell you the name of that film. However, I reviewed it, and it was a pretty poor film. Bad acting, you know, bad special effects, what you'd expect from a cheapy shark movie. And then Last Survivors came along, and she gave a good performance in it, I felt. And this film here is about this father and son who are living in the wilderness, and he's led his son to believe that something's happened when he was young. Society has collapsed, the world's in ruin, people are bad out there, so they're there living off the land their whole life like this, and he then comes to learn the truth, and that's not the case, and his dad's kept him there like this. He forms a friendship with this woman that is much older than him, and you know, it was a decent film. This was a German import. As you can see, it's got the reversible sleeve with the big age rating there. I was surprised by it. Let's just say I had fun with it. Then we have License to Wed. Robin Williams, always good, you know. John Krasinski is in this one, but I need to watch it. I like Robin Williams, but I like John Krasinski as well. Jim from The Office, American Office. You know, I need to watch it. I think this one here has recently had a 4K release somewhere. Might be America, but it is Peter Weller. Ernie Hudson's in it, and Meg Foster with the eyes. Leviathan. And I imported this from somewhere, uncut and full HD remastered, apparently. I haven't watched it yet. I mean, I've seen the film back in the day. I mean, yeah, it's. I need to rewatch it again. It's been a long time for that one. Then we have Charlize Theron, Seth Rogen in Long Shot. And I actually enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun with it when I watched it. You know. Yeah, what can I say? I thought that was a decent film. One I need to get round to that always intrigued me, and I picked it up cheap and still not watched it. Florence Pugh. Oh, it's Florence Pugh, yeah. Lady Macbeth. Florence Pugh, who's, well, she's quite famous now, isn't she? Lady Macbeth. I just haven't got around to watching it. I need to. Now, I like Nicolas Cage, favourite actor of all time, but that wasn't very good, was it? Come on. I think that's something that I can powerful film that left me almost breathless. Yeah, all right. Yeah. Let's get rid of that one. 2 more left. Oh no, 1 more left. Sorry, I said 2 more left because I still got Lucy sat there that I need to check out. So Behind Enemy Lines. Owen Wilson, Gene Hackman. Still got my old DVDs in there. What DVD? 2 disc. Oh no, I've got part 2 in there. Behind Enemy Lines 2 DVD. What did I buy that for? I don't know. Anyway, yes, Behind Enemy Lines. After seeing this, I wanted to see more Owen Wilson in more action films. I'll be honest. I thought he carried himself quite well, considering his comedic chops, and that's generally what he was known for. I thought that was quite a good film, but he never really did. He done films like I Spy, you know, the Eddie Murphy one, but it was just sort of like comedy action. That's out and out action. He was pretty good in it. He was pretty good in it, I will say. So there we go. There's the stuff that I am sort of getting rid of on that shelf. So let me just have a recap of how many I've put aside. Let me check Lucy, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back, and let me just show you down there. Look, as you can see, well, you can't really that well, but now I've combined the 2 shelves. I've got all that space there I've sort of been left with. That's quite good. I'm quite pleased with that. Get rid of that. Tortoises wandering over stuff. Okay, so Lucy. I haven't got Lucy in 4K. What I think it is, I think the confusion has arisen for some reason where I've picked up the film Joy for £4. I think that's what I had in my mind. Can you see? It's, well, I suppose blonde girl, face on the cover. I don't know. So I think that's what happened there. So obviously Lucy is gonna go back onto that shelf. So let's put Joy over there because that's got to go back round there. And let's have a quick rundown of how many I have got rid of today, or you know, gonna go in that pile of films to get rid of. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Not even a dozen. But it's 11 films. It's 11 films gone. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with that. So what were they? Left Behind. I'm not going to watch it again. Let's Be Cops. I'm not even going to speak about that one. That's going. Looper, but I'll keep this lenticular. Lone Ranger, because I got a Steelbook. Lockout, I got a Steelbook. Les Miserables, I've got a 4K upgrade. Nice slip on that one. Last Action Hero, because I've got a 4K upgrade. Life of Pi, I've got a message map. See if he's got that. Kickboxer Retaliation. King Kong, 4K upgrade. But there's 2 versions in there, so I need to box, you know. I've got some, look, I've got some boxes there. So while I'm doing this, while I'm talking, I will do that. I've still got my old DVDs in there as well. So, you know, they'll go into my, well, you know, into my other pile. So, like I said, yeah, I've got 2 editions of, get my words out. I got 2 editions of King Kong. So I got that one there with the sort of, that's classic sort of poster image for the film, I believe. And then I bought this one cheap. It was about £2 just because it had different art on the sleeve, and it was cheap. I don't know why I've done that. It's not even particularly good art, but it might appeal to someone. So that is that one there. I mean, that's not nice, is it? That's not good, unless you know you do like that. But so there's them 2 there. So that ups me to actually a dozen. There's 11 there. Life of Pi's there. So yeah, dozen to say goodbye to, which is great. It is good. So I'll go over there with that lot. So I've got to go with my other lot, and that's me done for another one. So again, yeah, it's nice doing this. It's kind of liberating. I say that all the time. It is liberating to go through your collection and say, do you know what? I don't want that. Okay, you know, in a few weeks' time, I could probably go through that shelf again and whittle it down a bit more. I probably could with every shelf. But this is where I stand at the moment with this stuff, and that's what I'm saying goodbye to. So, yeah, goodbye to that stuff. That's what I will offer out to people, or if there's any worth there, trade in, whatever it may be. But yeah, anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and in 2 weeks' time I will be back again, and I'll be doing a shelf down here. You can't see it, it's below. You can see the dinosaur there, it's below that. Yeah, we'll see what, I don't know, I'm sort of looking now, but I don't want to get into that. But anyway, so there we go, that's me done for another one. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.